Yes, it's another terrific hieroglyphic. We're in the building. Of course, I'm in the building with the lovely, very beautiful SharJohnson.com. What up, baby girl?
Hey, how you doing? Ready to bring that sunshine to your timeline?
Hey, man, this is the hieroglyphic podcast, and what we do here, man, we break down what's going on in the community, what's going on throughout the world. But this particular podcast, what we're going to do is talk about some national news, right? And like I said, we're going to fine-tooth this thing, fine-comb this thing. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, fine-tooth, fine-comb. Yeah, just get through it and straighten some things out.
All right. What are we talking about today?
We are going to talk about Mr. Brian Flores. A couple of days ago, he releases a statement following his lawsuit against the NFL team.
Now, Brian Flores is a coach, for those of you who don't know, a coach for the Miami Dolphins for 2 years with a successful record. He unfortunately got terminated, and so he feels like he got to go to court and do what he got to do. But let's read his statement.
Okay, he starts out with, I understand that I may be risking coaching the game I love. God has gifted me with a special talent to coach the game of football, but the need for change is bigger than my personal goals. In making this decision to file the class action complaint today, I understand that I may be risking coaching the game that I love and that has done so much for my family and me. My sincere hope is that by standing up against systematic racism in the NFL, others will join me to ensure that positive change is made for generations to come.
All right, man, that was powerful, man. We're going to break this thing down. And now I know a lot of you guys been on your timeline trying to figure out what the hell's going on. A lot of them is just kind of going passing it. And they see his name in the spot, they see his face, but really don't know what's going on. So that's why I talk to our people here in Blackman, Ohio, so you can know what's going on nationally. But let's get into it. So Brian Flores is a coach, NFL coach, one of the very few black coaches in the NFL. So the argument is we as a people get treated whack, less opportunities is less, everything is completely corny. When I was growing up, hell, it was hard to see a black quarterback. That's the truth. And then they sort of changing that, the trend. Big ups to my man, Doug Williams, who was the first black quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win the Super Bowl. I'm sure it was more before that, but it was that scarce, right? Right now, 2022, the tide has changed. It's about 15% black quarterbacks, right? But when it comes to the black coaches, head coaches, right now, as we speak right now, Shar, we got one black coach in the NFL. I think you know who that is, right?
Oh, yeah, that's my boy Tomlin for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay, yes, and that's one right now because a lot of people got fired, and Brian Flores was one of them. Now let's get into what's all the hoopla and why he felt like he had to do a class action lawsuit against the NFL, right? Number one is the hiring practices. That's what he's talking about. There's this thing that's in the NFL that's called the Rooney Rule. This is a rule implemented by the NFL itself, so it can force NFL teams to least look at outstanding possible African American coaches. Okay, that's what this rule is about, right? It ensures that the coaches that's bubbling up under the assistants, the coordinators and stuff that's doing good work, it forces the Eurocentric power structure that governs the NFL. It forces them to give them an opportunity at least for the interview. Okay, that's what's going on, right? Now, understanding that, I need for you guys to really understand, this guy just got fired, so he was supposed to been, since he got fired from the Miami Dolphins, he is one of the most popular coaches who's supposed to be up that's black. Okay, he's been on a couple of interviews, and it's not happening yet. A lot of them is not happening. Out of all the teams that's getting filled in this, I think it was like, I know it was over 5 teams that needed head coaches. Right now, all the spots are filling up with European coaches, right?
That's correct.
Yes, and right now what we see is brothers being left out. So, but this is what's going on. Now let's go back into this Rooney Rule. The Rooney Rule is implemented. Its implementation again is for black people to have a fair shot at an interview, not a job, but an interview, and it's on you to show and prove from your history and the way you carried yourself throughout the league, through the past games and stuff, and how you show out in this interview that you possibly can get a job. But something, what we know here in our experience in America, sometimes we often looked over. Even though this rule is there to get us to get a good look at the job, what's happening with the Rooney Rule in the NFL? The Eurocentric power structure that governs the NFL is using this rule we're not using the rule. What they're doing is just bypassing the rule. How's they bypassing the rule?
I mean, they're actually giving the interviews. They're actually letting you sit down and giving you the opportunity to say that they did, vet you or interview you, but that's not getting the job.
That's what they're doing, exactly right. They say, and then, so Brian Flores, after this last, something that happened, let me tell you what happened. Bill Belichick, the coach of the New England Patriots, which Brian is from, ultimately it was another coach named Brian for the same team that was on the Patriots with Belichick, right? So, there's a, anyway, let me just give it to you what I know. So apparently, Brian Flores was supposed to meet with the Giants, let's say 3 days from now. I'm just 3 days from now, right? So I'm pretend like I'm Brian, right? I'm waiting on my, I'm getting excited about this interview, or am I? Or I'm gonna feel like this is another bullshit interview. I don't know what's going on in his mind. But anyway, he get a text from Coach Belichick, right, that says, congratulations, basically you got the gig. He was like, oh man, thanks. He texts back, oh man, thanks. I'm glad you got the confidence in me. He said, no, it was already pretty much locked and loaded. It's done. It's you, baby. It's you, babe. And then homeboy said, text back, Brian Flores text back, is this the real, he says, Coach, are you talking to Brian such and such or me, Brian Flores? Guess what your boy Bill Belichick said?
I'm talking to Brian such and such.
My bad. And it was then that Bill Belichick knew he messed up, because now we have physical, tangible proof that they are having these fake Rooney Rule meetings just for formalities to say that they interviewing some folks. But what's so special about this one? This is proof now. They already interviewed the other Brian, and coach is congratulating the fake. The messed up Brian, the one that's not going to get the job. Coach is congratulating him, and this guy's interview ain't but 3 days from now. It's 3 days from now. So it bears witness, physical, tangible proof. It bears witness that the Giants already had their damn coach.
I said on who was going to be their coach, and bruh, it was not you.
And that's messed up. So he said, the hell with this. Hell with this. I've been getting treated corny for the last couple of times when I was going out to get the Miami job or whatever. What happens? He said he even went off on the Denver Broncos, said they gave him the welfare treatment as well. They came late to the meeting, half drunk, all types of stuff he was saying. So he's sick of it, man. So and he's sick of the way we are getting treated as a people in that establishment. And it's been going on and on. Here's a fact. They say almost 70% of the NFL is black, right? Almost 70%. Now here's the tripped out part, right? They say if you got 70% of the NFL is black, why the coaches is looking like something else? And we know that the coach is hiring from within. So if it's hiring from within, you would think that it would look like it's players, but it's not. Nepotism is real. Nepotism is when you hire your family members.
Right.
So you see Belichick got his coach, his son playing and coaching. Not playing, but coaching. These people are hiring people that they know. They're hiring their wife's brother. They're hiring, this is how.
Their daughters, husbands, their nephews. So yes, it's real.
Right. So we can go on and on about what's going on, but check this out. Now, here's the thing. I'm gonna go over a couple of things. A lot of people, once he did that thing right there, he put that law class action suit, whatever it's called, and do you know he was still up for a couple of interviews He did this before he even went for the other interviews. He said, I want these people to know that I mean business. And he said in the statement that he may be sacrificing the big sacrifice for the ultimate change. So that's what's crazy. They're calling this man the Rosa Parks, man. They're calling him Rosa Parks right now because he's doing something that's supposed to transcend it, and a lot of people think he ain't gonna get a job again. Then they say, if he get a job, is he gonna drop the class action lawsuit? He says, no.
Why should he? And also too, you have other players that have spoken up. We're here in the northeastern Ohio area, but you also got Hugh Jackson with the things that he implies that he was paid extra to lose while coaching the Cleveland Browns.
Games.
Yeah, but the team denies it. But at the end of the day, you have other coaches that are speaking up. So something that the things that he is saying, it's got to be something really going on.
Now here's the thing that gets me, man, is when you listen to sports podcasts, I listen to a lot of them before I start talking today. I listen to the Europeans, which is some folks call them white folks. I listen to the Africans, some folks call them black folks, right? And when I listen to the African commentators, most of across the board, you hear about how racism is a factor. Racism is if I'm going to stop you from doing a thing and I have the power to stop you from doing a thing. I have to have the power sitting in that position. And when you favor yours over your own, it's what racism is.
If you favor yours over what's qualified or what's going to be best for the position, of course. People, 1 + 1 always equals 2.
Well, and this is the mentality that black people say when they say racist. They're not saying prejudice. They're saying racist, and it's based on the ability to enact power over another group of people. But then when you listen to the white people or the Eurocentric media about this thing, they all saying, I don't know how this is, not all of them, but a nice amount is all saying they don't know how this is racism. They say that the smoking gun is the quote unquote the coaches asking the black players to tank games, or what Bill Belichick said with the text messages and stuff like that. That's the smoking gun. But they don't know how it's not racism. It's because they don't understand what racism is like we understand.
Well, of course, and they're not going to see it that way because in their eyesight, you're still getting money. You're allowed to coach, take care of your family. You got football players that's getting millions of dollars. We can never be racist, but at the end of the day, and like you said, if the majority of the league is 70% black players playing, then it should reflect on coaches with that, not just the defensive coach, the offensive coach. We talking about the head coach.
Listen, man, we can talk about this every day. I advise you guys to check out Speak for Yourself with my man Acho and Wiley. I suggest you guys watch Brother from Another Mother with Michael and Michael. I suggest you watch Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless to get you up there. Oh yeah, in my other podcast I listen to The Odd Couple. All right, listen, man, we can talk about this all day, but instead, we're going to bid you adieu. Y'all better feel me before they kill me, y'all. It's time.